scariest part is what happens if at any point in time these people want to just ally themselves with a government.
That's exactly what they made. The point they made
They
in
did
the
that in
documentary.
Myanmar, yeah.
Yeah, they made that exact point. Like
That's
how
horrible.
Brazil, yeah, and like the people in Brazil, of course, like I, I try to see things as like objectively as possible, and so this documentary was showing like the bad stuff about how this stuff was affecting kind of political agendas in other countries, and how people in Brazil were chanting Facebook because that's essentially how that political campaign happened, was over Facebook.
Mm.
And then like the whole US election meddling, and then the Myanmar situation as well.
For
It's
those
like
of you who don't know what happened in Myanmar, every time you buy a smartphone in Myanmar, the government preloads Facebook on it, which is harmless, right? Except when it's the government giving you all the news you want to see. That suddenly changes things a little bit. Just a little.
Dad. Yeah, I mean, also like Google, for instance, if you type in something, it will those little pop-ups that you get underneath the possible search results that you could get.
Yeah.
They vary on your location. If I Googled water bottle is in New York, I'd probably get a different set of suggestions than I would in LA.
Yeah, if you Google flat Earth is in New York, you'll get is fake, and when you do it in like Portland or Seattle, you'll get it's real. But like it's basically true.
That is so funny.
It's basically.
You're saying all flat earthers originated from Portland, Oregon.
I'm saying, every nest needs a hive. You know what I'm saying? They need to originate from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. They all come from LA. Let's be honest.
Or is it what's the name of the place in Arizona? Is it? It
Phoenix?
Starts with an R. No, it starts with an R. Rosedale? No, not
Rosalind? No.
No, you know what it's
Rosdale?
like. Roswell.
Roswell.
Oh, New Mexico, not Arizona. Roswell, New Mexico.
But I knew what you were saying, yeah.
Yeah, Area 51's fake, by the way.
I mean, it's not fake. We just don't know what's in it.
Okay, but yeah. These social media companies are just basically becoming media for social and political agenda.
We need not we need
to be pushed.
I want to read 1984.
Oh, dude, you have to because we're living it right now.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
I need to read it.
Read it again.
I haven't read it. I just I read a plot synopsis. I'm like, and I know the author, George Orwell.
You know him personally?
Yeah, I've met him.
Okay, fair enough.
In 1984.
Excuse me.
He
wrote the book in the
60s
or 60s. Oh. Okay. Fine.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was the 50s. I could be wrong.
63, 64.
It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
All right, well, you're looking that up. I do think that we're basically living in a literal 1984 situation.
Not yet. It becomes 1984 when the government controls this. When social media people ally themselves with the government. That's when we're done. We're in trouble now. Because now essentially the government controls if there comes a point when the government controls what you see and what your news is, it's more than propaganda. It's literally just mind control at that point.
Yeah, I mean, this is messed up to say, but it's basically taking us back to what was going on in Russia post World War II.
No, like the Nazis did it and the Soviets did it. It's like, and this was before without social media.
And the craziest part is 2 different sides of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing. That's like let that sink in for a second, because it's not about political agenda here. It's about literal power. Yeah, it's horrible.
If you manage to convince the people you're the good guy, guess what? You control them.
Yeah. And in the end, the more attention, like I said before, the more attention they give you, the worse off it is for them, because they have no idea. They're just willing to give their time and effort and energy in belief.
Right. No. And to everyone listening, I know we're not we don't have 1 trillion viewers yet, but if we ever get to that point, I want everyone to like realize this. It's like the Nazis, they were people, Yes, we see them as monsters, but they didn't start that way. They were just convinced.
Oh, you mean the people that believed in that ideology?
Not even that, like, because a lot of people just went along with it because no one said this is a bad idea.
Yeah, but
Because at the
they were coerced. They were like fear
that's
mongering.
when fear mongering starts after you get the power, but not before. You understand? That only fear mongering only works once you have a big group of the military or a big group of people saying, "Okay, you're with us or against us." Kind of like a peaceful protest with a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's a very
Hot take.
very hot take.
No, it's true.
Well, it
The
is true.
German there was a nice expression I heard. It's like the first country the Nazis took over was Germany.
Well, that's completely true.
And no, but it's really telling that like an entire country of like good people were convinced to do a horrible thing. And whether or not they agreed with it or they just let it slide is irrelevant. No one stood up and said this is not enough. This is bad. Stop this. Because by the time they started doing it, it was too late. Everyone was already supporting it, and by the time it got to the really bad parts, there was nothing you could do. You just had to let it happen or die.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
that's true.
I keep hitting my microphone. I'm sorry, audience, but that's the thing. If the government controls what the people believe in, the, what's stopping them from doing our modern day government from doing another heinous act? Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. And that I think that's pretty much the point they were trying to make as well.
Yeah.
With the whole fake news thing and
That's,
we need real news.
no, yeah,
Which is like yeah, the line gets super blurred now because who's going to have to determine what real is? And I mean, the only one that will be able to do that is the government unless you have a purely unbiased, reliable news source.
yeah, but the thing is, they're not basing it on news. They're basing it on what you believe. So for all the people who like, believe in a certain belief,
Flat Earth, for instance.
yeah, let's just use a ridiculous example. So if you believe in flat Earth, guess what? When you search up flat Earth articles, guess what articles you're more likely to get? You're not going to get ones disproving you. You're more likely to get the ones that what's the word? Reinforce your beliefs on your concept. So
Yeah.
you're not getting a discussion, you're getting an echo chamber. You're being told you're right over and over and over again. And when the time comes when you meet someone in real life or on social media where someone disagrees with you, you have been bombarded with articles and followers who've basically been telling you you've been right your whole life. So now when you come face to face with a person who says you're wrong, you have the instinct to fight against this. How can you be wrong? You've been right for so long. So many people agree with you. How could you be wrong? And this is because you're constantly being bombarded with the same thing over and over. You're not getting something different. You're not seeing it from a different viewpoint. The artificial intelligence algorithm is giving you what you want to hear, what you agree with, what's popular to you and you alone, not in general. And so imagine that with something less ridiculous and more gray. What happens when you have a bunch of parties who have been told their whole time spent on social media that they've been right the whole time, and now they're coming face to face with each other, all these different political groups, and they're all living their lives thinking they're right, only to come face to face with each other and being told you're wrong. Guess what happens? Just a bunch of slander, a bunch of fake news, a bunch of rumors, a bunch of insults, a bunch of buzzwords, no journalism professionalism at all. It's chaos.
And eventually civil war.
We haven't reached that yet.
We haven't reached it yet,
I'm
but
really hoping it doesn't happen.
Yeah, a lot of people are like unfortunately predicting that. I mean, well, not people, influential people that I've talked to, people saying like, yeah, I mean, the way things are going, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. And that's horrible to say. Can you see a company imploding on itself or just self-destructing like that?
I really hope the companies like stop.
Or I said company, I said country.
Yeah,
There's a
country.
Yeah.
You said company, you fool. I really hope these social media companies don't take it too far. Like, I understand money is money is money, and if the government funds you, that's great. You're making what, $1 trillion of taxpayer money now. That would be awesome if you're Mark Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey. That's awesome. That's great. You do realize in 10 years the country will be like dead because of that action. And most likely your company will die too.
More than likely. I mean, if there are no people to use the service.
If everyone's busy killing themselves.
If there is no product, then how are you going to sell it?
That's true. Jack Dorsey,
The
if you're
people are the
listening.
product, man.
Jack and Mark, listen to me. We are your product. If we're busy fighting a civil war, how are you going to make money again? I guess you could make off the European market, but
Or maybe Myanmar.
Myanmar.
That's a horrible example.
It's a
but
pretty hot Facebook location, I've
yeah.
been told.
Brazil too.
I didn't.
Based on the documentary, those two places.
I
love
forgot.
Facebook.
I didn't remember Brazil. I just remember Myanmar, which, for those of you who don't know where Myanmar is, it's the country on the right side of India, the
Yeah.